Naptown! We're wrapping up summer in this September episode. We'll talk about the opening of the Mercado Hilltop, Parklets in West Annapolis, pop-up camps, the Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival, music and concerts, films on City Dock, and we'll highlight Ward 3 with Alderwoman Rhonda Pindell Charles. In August, the Mayor's Office of Community Outreach worked with local farms, food purveyors, and artists to launch Mercado Hilltop in the parking lot of the Salvation Army. The market is an opportunity for local small businesses to showcase fresh fruits and vegetables, artisan crafts, prepared foods, and more in a neighborhood that currently has no farm stands or outdoor markets.
We've got a great fresh produce stand, two amazing food places, an amazing coffee stand behind me. We also have the Children's Museum coming out at some point this afternoon as well. The Mercado is also an opportunity for the community to come together and rally together and have conversations and enjoy some music and some time in fellowship. It's also a time for us as organizations to reach out and let people know what services we have available to them, how we can help them out in any way, shape, or form, and what opportunities they have in the area surrounding them.
The Mercado Hilltop will run each Saturday through the end of September. Check it out. Businesses in West Annapolis are excited that the Department of Public Works has installed 4 parklets along Annapolis Street. These extensions are in front of Rutabaga, Bean Rush Cafe, Evelyn's, and Flamant. Public Works has also set out tables, and the Mayor's office prettied them up with some plants. The parklets should slow traffic that peels off from Route 50 in the summer, looking to avoid delays toward the Bay Bridge. Locals are hoping a more pedestrian-friendly street will keep people hanging around to shop. On September 10th, the mayor and city and county dignitaries will break ground on a new Truxton pool. The construction is expected to take about 8 months, but Department of Public Works and Recreation and Parks staff involved in the project are optimistic that it will be completed in time to open Memorial Day 2020. The new pool will have a 25-yard, 6-lane lap pool, a family leisure pool, a splash pad, a snack bar, and ample shaded patio areas. The total budget for the replacement pool is $4 million. It was funded by the sale of the Eisenhower Golf Course a few years ago. Get ready to dive in next summer. At the Stanton Center in August, the Mayor's Office, in partnership with Recreation and Parks, launched the first community incubator called Future Initiatives Sustaining Humanity, or Fish Tank. At the kickoff event, businessmen and women, recovery intervention specialists, professional development trainers, and others met to determine how best to deliver services. Individuals looking for help with their business plan or startup, re-entry services, workforce development and training, addiction recovery support, and more can come to the Stanton Center on Mondays between 9 a.m. and noon. That's at 92 West Washington Street in Annapolis. In August, the city cut the ribbon on a new playground in Bywater and a refurbished community center in Annapolis Walk. Alderwoman Sheila Finlayson and Mayor Gavin Buckley were on hand with Recreation and Parks Director Archie Trader to cut the ribbon.
We tried to design this park to speak to the needs of all ages, elementary school students, middle school students, high school students, adults, families. You'll see picnic areas, you'll see tot lots. Everything else that has been added has been part of this new plan for what we will dub today and forevermore as the Bywater Park.
The city hosted a cyber skills pop-up camp at the Eastport Community Center in August. These pop-up camps are part of our outreach effort to keep young Annapolitans engaged over the summer break. An earlier camp included learning to fly a drone at the Stanton Center and a Females in Focus photography pop-up at the Pip Moyer Recreation Center. Other camps included cooking, ukulele, esports, and sailing. Our many thanks to our business partners and instructors. In this week's episode, we have a focus on Ward 3. That includes much of the parole area. The boundaries of the ward are generally along West Street from Cherry Grove to Old Solomon's Island Road and along Forest Drive in the area around Chickapin Round. Here's Alderwoman Rhonda Pindell Charles to talk more about the area she represents on the Annapolis City Council.
Hey Naptown, this is Rhonda Pindell Charles, your City Councilwoman from Ward 3, where history rules. We are standing in front of the beautiful Walter S. Mills Parole Elementary School. In 1939, our principal, Mr. Mills, filed a federal lawsuit against the Anne Arundel County Board of Education, challenging equal pay for black and white teachers. Mr. Mills prevailed, and he was represented by none other than Thurgood Marshall, who was then working for the NAACP. Thurgood Marshall later became our first U.S. Supreme Court Justice as an African American. And this case was a precursor to the 1954 Brown v. Board of Education case. And juxtapose this, during the post-Civil War era, parole was a site for the exchange of parole prisoners. We are proud of the work of our 4 neighborhoods and community associations, Greater Parole, Heritage, Greater Germantown Homewood, and Fairfax. And we are proud of our almost 400 businesses that thrive here in Ward 3. This Walk Parole, a Scavenger Hunt for History brochure was published by our city in 2016. See our city's website. It chronicles 20 sites and 21 points of interest. The majority of our streets here in Ward 3 have been named for prominent African Americans, local as well as national. And more recently, we renamed 3 of our streets for 3 of our prominent local leaders, former Alderman Norwood Brown, Mr. Noah Taylor, and regionally well-known radio broadcaster and DJ, Mr. Charles Hoppy Adams. And speaking of music, during the months of June through October, come on out to Chambers Park and listen to the best music you will ever hear around from many of our parole and other local groups. And yes, we host the largest summer concert series here in Annapolis. So come on out here to Ward 3, here in Ward 3. Proud people, proud history.
Thanks, Alderwoman. Now let's jump into the things happening around our city in September. September Sunsets concert series gets underway on Thursday the 5th. The first band is the folksy, soulful, bluesy trio of Pressing Strings. On the 12th, the primitive blues of Swamp Candy plays. Beer and wine for sale, food trucks on site, admission is free. Bring a chair or blanket. That's at Ellen O. Moyer Nature Park, 7300 Edgewood Road in Annapolis. On the 7th, come out to Mercado Hilltop at the Salvation Army parking lot on Hilltop. Fresh food, prepared food, art and merchandise awaits. On Saturday, September 7th at 10 a.m., Whitmore Park will be the site for a plaque dedication for a lynching memorial. Hosted by Connecting the Dots, Reconciliation Through Remembrance, this event will be the dedication ceremony to unveil Maryland's first lynching historical marker. Special guest speakers will include Mayor Gavin Buckley, County Executive Stuart Pittman, Dr. Carletta Allen, Delegate Josephine Pena-Melnick, Carl Snowden, and others. On Thursday, September the 11th, come to City Dock for a movie night. Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer are hotshot Navy fighter pilots in Top Gun with beautiful flight instructor Kelly McGillis. It's a little military might, a little romance with a splash of friendship and teamwork in the mix. This PG film is great for families. Grand Theft Band will play September 13th as part of the ongoing Chambers Park concert series in Parole. A few days later, on September 15th, the Naptown Brass Band brings their second line sound to City Dock. Interested in beer and classical music and sketching? Check out the Beers and Beethoven Night at Art Farm on Chinkapin Round, September 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. Get in touch with your artistic side while you gather with friends, share a brew, and make art. Fall Fest at Market House in historic downtown will take place September 22nd, starting at noon. South Forest Drive's Movie Under the Stars nights continue with Mutiny on the Bounty at Eastport Library on the 27th at 7 p.m. Bring a blanket or beach chair. Do-si-do at Pip Moyer Rec Center on the 28th, 5 p.m., an evening of American Roots country music, concert, and square dancing. Janine Smith will walk you through the steps. Gary Wright and Leah Weiss will add live music. It's free. You can bring a partner, but you don't need one. Also on the 28th, the Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival at City Dock. This annual all-day event will feature 80-plus artists and crafts, food and community vendors, 2 performance areas, a children's activity tent, and more. That's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Don't forget about ongoing Art in Public Places concerts on City Dock, as well as the Annapolis Arts District First Sunday Arts Festivals, Recreation and Park and Police Department movie nights, and more. Check the city's Facebook page or website calendar for details. We'll be back in October for our next episode of Hey Naptown. See you then.